gonna have to do your song again. Where have I heard that before? Yeah, there it is. Man of Steel, classic. Welcome to CapeCast. Brandon?
Oh, hey.
I'll let you do your thing.
Sorry, I'm good.
How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. We just want to jump on here today to talk about some new posters that Zack Snyder Mike dropped on Twitter this morning. Did he post on a Vero too? I haven't even checked.
I don't know.
He probably did.
Who has the time to check?
We do, Brandon. We have the time to check. We always have the time to check for these things. So if you are following the movement, you were made very aware that he dropped 3 posters that are very different from the original posters a few years ago when the movie was first announced.
Mm-hmm.
And also kind of the big news to go along with that is we finally got a release date, Brandon.
Finally.
And
what's that release date?
That's right. 3/18/21. So middle March.
Nice.
Explains, I know they kind of put out a little press release about why they moved Godzilla vs. Kong, but this also would kind of explain that as well. Trying not to pack too many movies in too tight a window.
This gives it, I guess, a 2-week buffer almost between that.
Yep.
And Kong.
Let the thing breathe a little bit, which is good for us. The more time that folks have to dive into this bad boy, the better, before new stuff comes out afterwards.
Indeed. I mean, listen, we all know how this goes with this community. Even the community that doesn't like these movies, they talk about them. We've had BVS articles for 5 years. It's like they keep putting out stuff about this. So just because a movie is coming out 2 weeks later doesn't mean anything in terms of longevity, in my opinion.
Sure. No, I agree.
But it is good. It is good that it's going to have a little bit of breathing room, so to speak.
Yep. I'm also glad that it's a little sooner than I know when we first were hearing rumored dates and stuff. It was kind of later March that it was anticipated. So it's cool we're getting it a little bit earlier than we thought.
Indeed.
But we can kind of just kind of go through these posters. We'll have graphics down at the bottom so you can see what we're looking at. But the first poster that he tossed up was a giant shattered Justice League emblem.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously people are comparing that to the original metallic with the
light burst coming through.
Yeah, coming through the center. Quite a different tone, quite a different feel.
Black and white.
Yep, black and white. And also, it's interesting to see how, because you imagine he was involved with that original poster. It's interesting to see how much of a difference his vision was versus the studios, even from
marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we all kind of, know now that they were trying to push.
We know better, don't we?
Yeah. They were trying to push a more, lighter tone, at least publicly, in the marketing. And we definitely found that out once they started putting out like the key art for like the Blu-ray and how like oversaturated everything was.
Oh my gosh. They were like, all the characters were like Oompa Loompas.
Yeah.
It's brutal. I remember when those first came out, we were working during the day, but we slacked them back and forth, and we were like, "What happened?"
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, pretty brutal.
I think that was when it finally started settling in that we were, things had changed a little bit with Justice League. But he also put up a tweet with this first poster. He said, "Fallen," #SnyderCut.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how he like lets him like saturate for like a few minutes, and then he just drops another one.
Yeah.
And then a few minutes later, he posted the next poster. And with the tweet was risen, hashtag Snyder Cut. And it's very, very much an homage to the Death of Superman comic cover, which is one of my faves. So this one is currently on my cell phone background. Very quickly made that transition.
Yeah, I can confirm that.
Yeah.
As well. Yeah, it's really cool.
With some Easter eggs in this one.
Indeed. You already, I guess, on Twitter showcased the Wonder Woman shield. There's also Trident in there. I'm sure there's other stuff. I haven't had a chance to look at it super close.
Same.
Yeah, it's a cool poster.
Obviously, Nightmare Sequence.
Right.
Which, we didn't see in Justice League at all. Theatrical.
Didn't see a lot.
That is true. But no, this one's a really cool look, and I also tweeted earlier, the classic line from people who don't really follow what's going on with this movie is it's the same movie. Like, what's all the hubbub about? Mm-hmm. Like, if you just were to show them this poster when they ask that question, I think it's a little bit of a mic drop. You could just leave it at that.
I'm just so excited for the tone. I am
too. Yeah.
Even if nothing comes after this, just to have some sort of just another a follow-up entry that's going to be similar in tone to Man of Steel, BVS. I remember before all this even happened, as far as Snyder Cut getting released, and we honestly probably never thought it was actually going to happen. I just remember the letdown in terms of having this third movie that just stuck out like a sore thumb, didn't feel like it had any kind of continuation. And so just seeing these posters, we've obviously already seen the initial trailer, so we know kind of the tone of what we're getting. And it's just super exciting. So exciting to see. So
is it exciting, Brandon?
It's very exciting. I mean, I don't know of another word to use but exciting, because that's what it is.
It's exciting. It is. It is.
Yeah.
And then, so we've got the last poster that he threw up was the tweet was reborn, hashtag Snyder Cut, streaming 3/18/21, hashtag Us United. And this one
This is probably
cool.
The meta poster that I think Grace Randolph had mentioned.
It's a reel of the Snyder Cut in the same setting as the previous two posters. And this is, so we can kind of talk about, this is a good segue into talking about how we think they should handle kind of the marketing and education for this movie. This poster was really encouraging for me, just because I think that the marketing needs to tell that story. And we talked a little bit about this with Sean O'Connell from Cinema Blend, and you can go back and check that video out. But what's happened with this movie is it's monumental, and it's a really cool story, and very symbolic. And I just think that it's something that's so easy for them to dig into with marketing, to kind of stand out from sizzle reels and all that. Like this, I don't know. It's a cool story to tell that isn't even necessarily part of the plot of the film.
Yeah, I hope that is, and I don't know how they're going to do it. I just hope that they do something to educate people.
Right. Yeah, this is a good start. I definitely was not expecting for them to do. I think what in my mind it was more of just like messaging with whether it's TV spots or whatever.
I mean, for the general audiences, it's going to have to be TV spots.
Sure. It's just encouraging to see them put out an official poster.
No, I agree, kind of but still, I feel like this is just going to hit the choir essentially.
Yep.
These posters. So
I just like where the head is a little bit, I guess is what I'm saying.
No, I agree. Totes agree, Ryan.
And it kind of, so I guess we can say it's as well as confirmed as it can be that this is going to be a movie.
Seems like it. Yeah.
Yeah. Which it's been interesting to see all the the reaction on Twitter about, people who are like, how am I going to sit down and watch a 4-hour movie? Like, and people have made little parodies about press the pause button or
Right. Yeah. I mean, we talked about this a little bit with Sean as well, as far as really our big like push, or I guess desire for it to be broken up would be for the conversation, for general audiences, like having a little bit, I guess, an easier entry, as far as not as like, oh my gosh, 4 hours, I don't know, like that kind of
thing.
Yeah. An hour commitment is a lot more digestible. But I mean, I'm not complaining. Listen, I hope that it doesn't
honest,
scare
Brandon,
people
we're
away.
probably going to watch it back to back.
Well, you saw my post about my calendar creation, where it had every day and repeat every day indefinitely, essentially.
Melissa, I'll be down watching the Snyder Cut again.
So, yeah, that is. I mean, how many times have we just like put BVS on at work and just
hey Brandon,
had it in the background.
Yeah, you want to watch PBS again?
Yeah,
all right, let's do it.
So I imagine this is going to be a similar situation.
Also saw, it's interesting too that with the marketing so far, especially like there've been some T-shirt designs that have come out over the last week or so, and I think I saw like an official synopsis of the movie somewhere. And it's just all very heavy on dark side, which is awesome and encouraging for potential future projects.
Yeah, I mean, it all kind of, it kind of lies on how this goes. I mean, as far as the future, I mean, I feel like there has to have had to been conversations they've got to have a gauge of how things are going metrically.
There's no way you go into a project like this without having kind of a path forward if it works out.
You definitely don't invest the amount of money into it.
Exactly.
And have it be 70 million or whatever it is, and still have all the cliffhangers that were intended for the original. Go and film a nightmare sequence that's definitely teasing something for the future. You don't do that just to be like, well, this is it.
Bringing back fan favorite characters like Deathstroke, where like that people are craving the Batman Deathstroke show. I don't know. It's you would like to think at least it's in the periphery, like it's something there. Mm-hmm. If they reach a certain threshold, then
yeah, fingers crossed. I mean, it's all up to the people that it's gonna. At the end of the day, it's not gonna matter about Rotten Tomatoes. It's not gonna matter about what critics say about it. It's gonna matter about how many people subscribe to HBO Max, how many people buy it internationally. I assume that's how it's going to go internationally. It'll be a VOD purchase for the ones that don't have HBO Max. And those metrics are going to be the determining factor as far as how things
Which is
progress.
super encouraging, just because we know that a lot of people have already made up their mind on this movie. So it's nice to have kind of the performance be what determines future installments.
Right.
Yeah. Even looking at it's funny to look at, like, I was looking at Lights Camera Barstool, the stuff that they put up. There's just so many people that have already written this movie off before they've even looked at it and don't understand that. I think I commented on a couple of them that don't understand that it's like you're probably looking at at least 3 hours of unseen footage.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, I mean it's a new movie for all intents and purposes.
And even the stuff you have seen before is going to be different, as far as just the way it's color corrected just the way it. I mean, a lot of those scenes I imagine were compromised, like dialogue type things that were punched up to be more whatever. You'll have the alternate takes essentially, is from what I gather, of the stuff that Snyder shot. In addition,
it's gonna be fascinating to break down, like after we see this thing, to be able to break down those scenes to like what was different and how they changed them in the theatrical versus what was originally intended.
Yeah. I imagine there will be lots of those little think pieces and videos, comparisons created.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. So then we also kind of buzzing on the internet today. I think Grace Randolph reported that she thinks the new and final trailer is going to come out on February 14th, which would be poetic for Zack. Which he something he likes to do. The 214.
214 also Valentine's Day apparently.
Apparently, yeah. I'm familiar with that holiday.
Yeah, I mean, 214 for those you probably know, but for those that don't, 214 was
If you're watching this.
The how many minutes the original Snyder cut, quote unquote, was, which was his intended theatrical cut, I guess, before all this, kind of went down. But
he hit it in some artwork and posted the number to Vero several times cryptically.
Yep.
But it's kind of funny. Like, if this was a movie that I hadn't followed so closely, I would probably not be watching this final trailer that's coming out, just because I tend not to watch final trailers. But
yeah, we can't
I'm
help
be
ourselves.
soaking this bad boy up. Yep.
Well, I mean,
there's no way.
Also, we already, just because things have come out, we kind of know the beats for the most part. I'm sure there will be some surprises.
When you follow it as closely as we have, I don't think it's necessary. I mean, I'm sure there will be tons of surprises in this movie, but generally, I just look at it as more of like what it's been over the last 2 or 3 years of like awesome stuff that's sneaking out about this movie.
Yeah.
And I have no doubt that Zack's he's gonna hold back on a lot of the bombshells that he's planning on dropping in this movie for the actual movie.
Well, he did say, I think,
well.
I can't remember whose podcast he was on, where he said he will be a little more tight-lipped in terms of revealing things.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that a lot of the things that he revealed at like SnyderCon and then on Vero before this was an actual thing that was coming out, he was like, well, it's never coming out, so I'm just going to talk about it. And now he's like, well, maybe I shouldn't talk about this as much because now it's coming out. Doesn't want to, kind of spoil it.
Oh, this is actually happening.
Yeah. So, but either way, it doesn't make me less excited, obviously, knowing a lot of the stuff that's going to happen because I'm just excited for the journey.
Yep. Agreed. The tone of it is in the we haven't even heard the music yet. We heard that he put a little cell phone video up to the mic on one of the interviews he did, but the Junkie XL music, I have no doubt is going to be phenomenal.
No, I'm excited. I'm excited for that. Oh, Film Junkie. Is he still going by Film Junkie? Not Film Junkie. Junkie XL. I think he reverted back to Tom Hulkenberg.
Tom Hulkenberg.
He revealed
Force of habit.
He revealed the Junkie XL little snippet on Film Junkie's podcast.
Correct.
That's where that's the connection there. Sorry. Shout out, Dave.
Sup, Dave.
Sup, Dave. Bring us on your podcast. Love to do a vlog stream sometime soon. Thanks. So the and even that little bitty snippet, I think they looped it, like Dave may have looped it or something and put it out as like a little promo thing, and even that was like, oh, this is cool. So I'm excited to hear more context to a lot of that score.
No doubt.
But Tom Hulkenberg is just like everywhere now, as far as
he's
going to be
busy man.
I think he's doing Godzilla versus Kong, so he's got 2 movies coming back to back. Which is cool. But Sup, Tom?
For sure. Just shout outs left and right.
Yeah, that's what we do.
All right. Yeah. So, Brandon, I don't know if there's anything else that you wanted to touch on. We just want to jump on and
just give some quick thoughts. I mean, these posters are super dope, yo. And I think I mentioned, like, I wonder if there's any kind of hidden Easter eggs in the film cells in that film canister one that I couldn't quite tell.
It would not surprise me at all
because of the resolution, but there's got to be something in there.
Check Vero.
We need the Fran account to upscale this to 4K so he can see what's in it. Sup, Fran? But yeah, so I'm interested to see. I mean, maybe if he did post it on, because Vero tends to be higher resolution,
right?
So maybe we can take some little
get that magnifying glass out.
Yep, see what's there. Give us your secrets.
That's right, all of them. We need them. Well,
and it is interesting. One thing that we didn't note was
one last thing from Brandon.
All the posters are black and white except that film canister one, and it has Snyder in red. On the canister itself.
Yeah, I do love how he has really kind of taken ownership of this project, like used his name, and I feel like the natural tendency would be to be kind of like. It's y'all's thing. Like, it's just cool to see him. Like, there's just a lot of passion behind it. Like,
dude,
he's like,
I mean, go and look at his Vero and look at his posts.
It's true.
Like, he's passionate about this even before it was going to be a thing. I mean, that's like all he was posting about. So
even when you listen to, because obviously as he's done kind of little semi-press junkets for this movie on podcasts and stuff, fan podcast, he obviously gets asked the question, like, is there stuff in the future, like would you be interested in doing stuff in the future? And you can just tell, like, looking at, like, the stuff he says is very, like, diplomatic, and but you can just tell, like, he wants to do more. That combined with the stuff that he posts, like, it's just overwhelmingly Justice League. And the relationships that he has with the cast members, and it just seems like it's a really special thing for him.
Yep.
Which is cool to see.
That it is.
Any more one more things, Brandon? Or are we
nope.
Should I try and close this out for the third time?
I think we're good. I'm excited to see the trailer in February, if that is indeed the date.
That's right.
It would make sense.
Inevitably, we'll be back on here to talk about that at length. I think last time we did like a 2-hour episode on breaking down a 2 to 3 minute trailer.
Yeah, I was gonna see what is the 2/14 falls on a Sunday. So yeah,
we'll make it happen.
No, I'm not saying, but we have a few. We're not going to say what they are. We have a few guests coming on in the future. I was wondering if it was falling before or after, but it looks like it's going to be after. So sorry, guys.
That's all right. Plenty to talk about.
Yep. Indeed.
Yep. So until next time,
the hype train is in motion. Get excited.
That's right. That's right. Release the hype engine. If you know, you know. So we will be back in the next couple weeks with, like Brandon said, a couple of guests that we're excited about. So we recommend that you stay tuned in. Follow us on Twitter at CapeCast Show. And obviously, if you like talking about this stuff, hit us up on Twitter, drop down in the comments, and we love chatting Snyder Cut anything. So until next time, Brandon. Sayonara.